Welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Kat Carter. How is everybody doing this evening? I hope that you are having a good Friday evening. I am just so excited that you decided to come and hang out with me on this Friday night. It was a beautiful day where I live, and I'm hoping that you had a great day as well. Friday Night Live is a positive platform where we come to inform, innovate, and inspire. And that's exactly what we are hoping that we've been given to you for actually a whole year. So let's go into our encouragement corner because I don't want to waste any time. My brother is here from California, one of my favorite artists, and I'm just so excited to have him here. And then we also going to talk about high blood pressure with Dr. Alford a little bit later. Okay, so our encouragement corner reads, I recognize that the disappointment I feel is not doing my best or being my best is an encouragement to do better. How can I do better? I am living my life in partnership with God. Nothing is too insignificant to talk to God about. What seemed only yesterday to be a hopeless situation is now an opportunity for me to let God express wisdom and creativity through me to bring about marvelous things. Isn't that beautiful? Well, I tell you what, my artist of the week needs no introduction. OMG. I am just so excited to have him here. He's been here before, and this is, I think, is his second time coming to hang out with us on Friday Night Live. My brother, national recording artist, Kevin Moore. Let me tell you a little bit about Kevin. Kevin is one of today's most gifted saxophonists with a style that is smooth, soothing, and healing. He is featured on San Francisco Clear Channel's KKSF 103.7 FM, Sampler for AIDS Relief, Volume with David Sanborn, Vanessa Williams, and many more. He has shared the stage with several top artists, such as I can give you only a few because we don't have enough time to tell you all the people that Kevin has collaborated with, but he's been with Kurt Whalum, Jonathan Butler, Fred Hammond, just to name a few. He also organized and runs the NorCal Music Camp for the Bay Area youth, and this is a camp that encourages music enrichment and academics, and this is now in the 8th year. He is happily married to his beautiful wife, Lisa, and they have 3 beautiful children. And Kevin says there is no place he would rather be outside of heaven than in her arms. Isn't that beautiful? Kevin is also Stellar nominated this year. I am just so excited. We have got to, when I get him on here, we're going to ask him, when are we going to find out what the results are? So Kevin plays from his heart, and it is from his heart that he will testify. Please welcome back to Friday Night Live, my good friend and brother, Kevin Moore. Whew, amen. That was the perfect song for the evening, Kevin. Thank you so much.
You're
Kind
welcome.
of get myself together so I can try to talk to you a little bit. That was like right on time.
God be the glory.
Amen. With all of the things that's going on in the world and just in our lives and stuff, we need some peace. Peace is
Amen.
always good. Peace. Sometimes you just got to be still and just trust God. And that was a beautiful, beautiful. That's an oldie but a goodie right there.
Amen.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yes. Like, you know what? Like sometimes, like when you've been through a little sometimes those oldie but goodies hit a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm about to
Yeah.
run around the studio.
No, don't do that. You just got it right. Leave it alone.
Kevin, this is just I'm just so excited every time you come to visit. I think I've known you almost 20 years and you are like one of my favorite artists. And I'm just so excited for you, all of the wonderful things that are happening in your life. I was telling the viewers that you have been stellar nominated this year. OMG.
To God be the glory. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
So do you know like when they'll know like who the winner's gonna be or did they say
Well,
yet?
so they're not doing in person. So, like most people, they're doing virtual, like they did last year,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to announce it during the Stellar broadcast, which I think it airs sometime in July,
Okay.
around the 14th or 20th, something like that. But
Okay.
I'll keep you posted, and
Yes,
they
keep us
won't you
posted.
won't yeah we won't know the results until that day. But I'm sharing with everybody. I'm content just being nominated. That's just an honor and a privilege just to be recognized, especially for instrumental. It's normally
Yes.
we don't really get a lot of recognition in gospel too much. So I'm happy with that, whether we win or not. I mean, it'd be great to win, but to me, it's more about ministry. So just the
Amen.
nomination being recognized by the Stellar committee and those, because I mean, just to be nominated, your project has to say something to them. Otherwise, they're not going to put it up
That's
there
right.
on the platform. So I'm grateful for that, and the other artists that are in the category are well known artists. So some people go a whole life without getting stellar. Something I'm just my first time being nominated and submitting. So grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's time though. One thing I really love about you is your heart and your integrity. Some people just play just for like just to be upfront or just to for themselves. And like you said, it's not about that. It's about ministry. You have
Mm-hmm.
what we need. You have what helps to keep us pushing a little bit longer. So
Mm-hmm.
we thank you for that. And if you all are enjoying Kevin so far, send him some likes and some hearts and encourage him. I saw a couple of congratulations to you for
I appreciate
being
it.
nominated for the awards.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
yes. So, how long have you been playing the saxophone?
uh, you asked me that a lot of times, but I stopped counting after 20 after 20 years. So I really it's I started when I was 7 or 8,
Okay, let me start adding up the.
and and I just hit
Let me get. I need a calculator.
I just hit 55. So you add that up. It's been a minute.
Wow, wow, that is just awesome. Okay, how did you get started, or what inspired you to start playing the saxophone?
Well, like most kids, in church, I really didn't see too many saxophones in church, but in school I did see them. And then one particular time, my mom came home with an album back then, or I guess record you would call it, and it was of this guy named Bernard Johnson, and it was called "Oh Happy Day," I think was the name of the album. And when I heard it, I was like, "Man, what is that? Who is that?" And from that point on, I was just kind of intrigued. And then there was a young gentleman at our church at the time that played, but he played a lot of R&B, but he would come to church every now and then. So I started, listening to him, and that really got me pushing. But yeah, Dr. Bernard Johnson, old school, him and
Hmm.
let me see, Rosie Haynes. Those two kind of, as far as gospel was concerned, was my go-to, that really kind of pushed me to want to learn how to play.
Oh, okay. Um, so that you pretty much told me how you got started and who inspired you. So, okay, I got a good question for you.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you thought you would be doing other than if you had not become a musician? Like, did you think this was what you would be professionally, or is there something else you thought you would be doing?
Um, well, because I desired to do it so early, no, I mean, I always wanted to be a musician, not
Hmm.
necessarily knowing I wanted to be a full time musician, but around Let me see. So it's been about 16 years. So about six. When did I meet you? Let me see.
2000, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there.
So maybe 2 or 3 years prior to that, I was working, and I worked swing shift and graveyard, so I could do music on the weekends. That was the only way you would really get weekends off. And during my nighttime, I would practice, write songs, play, and one for about a year or so, God kept bugging me. Stop letting your job dictate your ministry, And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And
Wow.
so it was like a call at that point. And so I talked to my pastor. I actually talked to Bernard Johnson to kind of seek help because with my family, I was more concerned, about that. And so I just said it's not for everybody. And it took about a year or two before my wife really got on board because, like my dad, when he started pastoring, I was going into high school, and I was like, "Well, God called you to pastor. He didn't call he didn't call me, So,
Wow.
but we had to follow. So I kind of feel for preachers' kids. I'm a PK,
I'm a
so
PK too.
so it's like when God calls your father or your mother or whoever to ministry, your family kind of is pulled into it, but they're not really. They weren't called, and so but you're kind of in a sense sacrificing time with them. And so for me, when I went full time musician, I said, well, I didn't want to do what happened with my dad. I mean, he spent so much time in church, so much time helping others, and so much time people taking advantage of his kindness because how the preacher's heart. And since I was hitting that adolescent or high school age, I saw a lot of that, and it really bothered me. So I was like, I never want to be a preacher or a pastor. It kind of turned me off a little bit that
Yeah,
our people
it's
would
not
do.
easy calling. Yes.
Yeah. So for me, music, when I went full time, it took a minute, and I think my journey to Texas that time was kind of my start of going into full time ministry. And I think I was in Houston. Maybe I was only supposed to be there 3 days, and I ended up staying in like a week and a half or something because I played at a church on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and they had me stay over for a conference that was going to start the following week. And so I told my wife, well, I won't be coming home like I thought. So that was a blessing. But it was a blessing definitely meeting you when you were at the radio station. I think we had to drive 5 hours out to see you in the desert somewhere. Can't remember that. It was a long ride. I know that. So where we going? I don't know this brother in the car. He taking me somewhere.
We were on the outside of Houston. But wait a minute, I'm still stuck on what the Lord told you. He said, don't let your job dictate your ministry. That'll
Yeah.
preach.
Yeah. So, because sometimes we are content, and again, you have to be careful because people will say, "Well, if God told him, maybe I should do the same thing." It's not for everyone, but sometimes you have a calling, and you can get held up, because you're so comfortable and content with your comfort zone of your job and that resource. So that was a big. I said, God, well, if I'm going to do this, you have to cover my resources, and I can say, 16, 17 years later, for me. He's done just that. I haven't, even during this COVID time, it seems like, I haven't missed a meal. I think I done got bigger like most people. But God yet provided, through live. I was already doing live stream like 2 years prior to COVID. So I was already into it. So I still was getting, can you do a live stream? Can you come to on our church platform? Because I had all my cameras and lights. I had all that set up. And I was doing my worship on Wednesday for like two and a half years. So I think God had already positioned me for this to take care of me, during this time. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful.
Okay. What's on your bucket list? What are some things that you love to do that you haven't been able to do yet?
Retire. That's all I'm gonna get my kids out the house. That's two.
Those don't count. Do something else.
Yeah, they grown. They got to go. That's a bucket list. Come on, I'm praying hard. Well, I mean, I pretty much, I'm content. I think just being able to travel without stress or worry of traveling. I guess I would say that. So, waiting for my wife to retire because I think for me, I'm not for sure how much longer I'll continue to record projects. I'll continue to play, but the recording process and again, for instrumental gospel, it's a little bit tough, to really push and sell instrumental gospel. So I may do one or two more projects and then probably put my hat in the ring and just kind of chill, and maybe
I'll believe that when I see that.
maybe just be a deacon at the church.
You got to do a cat jam. You still got to do a cat jam. No.
Okay. Well, I'm saying as far as recording.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's a process,
Yeah.
Because like when I finished this last project, Prayer Closet Volume 2, they're going to usher right there. It's the crown. She coming on in. It was at the beginning of COVID, so I never really got a chance to promote the project because COVID hit. So I had a lot of dates lined up, and unfortunately, that was like $12,000 plus invested in that project. And it has sat for a whole year. So I just started submitting to different, gospel award shows, and I was grateful the Stellars picked it up. So it's like now starting to actually promote something that was recorded a year ago, but nobody knows about the project. So that was So you spend $10,000-$20,000, but it may take you, a year or two to gain that back when you're going out, selling projects and stuff. So.
Right. Well, we're getting close.
Okay.
The time just goes by too fast. And I think I have to have you on here for an hour just so I can harass you. But I'm going to ask you one more question. I'm going to give you time so you can do your final selection.
Okay.
Would you like to say any final words of encouragement to the viewers?
As I always say, no matter what's going on in your life, the song I just played is part of something that I really love to play and encourage people that no matter what you're facing with your job, with your kids, with your marriage, or just in life general, those three words says a whole lot. Peace be still. As long as Jesus is on board, you got it. And I always say, remember to tell someone you love them, let them know that Jesus loves them. And as long as there's breath in their body, they still have a chance to the tree of life.
Amen. Amen, Kevin. Mm-hmm. So what are you going to play for us next?
So we're going to do another old classic from one of my favorite groups and artists here in the Bay Area, Walter Hawkins. And we're going to do Thank You, Lord. This is featuring my good friend Carl Wheeler, who's I've been fortunate to work with for over the years. He is one of the original members and band director for the group Tony, Tony, Tony. He now is the MD for Frankie Beverly and Maze. But Carl he actually is on the original recording of Thank You, Lord, when they did it Love Alive at 18 years old on the organ. So he's playing organ. He actually produced this track. So I'm going to play Thank You, Lord. So hopefully you enjoy it.
This is one of my favorites, Kevin.
Remember to go to Kevin Moore on sax for the music. Our latest project is Prayer Closet Volume 2. If you want more information, you can go there and search out the music. And, we'd love to have you. If you have things that you're doing at your church that are on social media and you'd like me to be a guest, go ahead and hit me up. And I let Cather handle all the business details.
I got you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Moore. Oops. I
God
could
bless
have
you.
been dead, sleeping in my grave, but you
Amen.
told old death he needs to behave. Oh, Jesus. Mm. Don't nobody really know like me and the Lord. Oh my God, Kevin, thank you so much. I better stop because I got another I got another part of this.
Amen.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go back and listen to this when I get off and just gonna be me and the Lord. We're gonna have us a good old time tonight.
Amen.
Yes, Lord.
Bless you all.
Bless you too, Kevin. Did you all enjoy Kevin?
Thank you all
You
so
all put
much.
it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Kevin, look, I know that you're busy. I know that you have a very serious schedule. Also, Kevin is on Twitch on Wednesday nights with the Music Vibe. You all can check him out on that as well. Um, but blessings to you in your future endeavors. Blessings to you with the Stellars. I'm hoping it's going to be you. And when time permits, can you come back again? I know you already been here twice, but
Oh yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
how I do. I'm always bothering you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I definitely love to come back. We're gonna work, keep working it out, and just I love what you've done in less than a
Thank you,
year.
Kevin.
Less than a year. God is good.
Yes.
I gotta get my studio looking like yours.
You actually helped me get mine together. Do you remember that? Because I was like really all over the place.
I
Y'all
remember.
don't know this. Kevin was behind the scenes helping me get this together. Ooh.
For
All right,
sure.
Brother Kevin. Well, you have a great evening, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. You take care.
All right. God bless.
Okay. God bless. Bye bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Did you all enjoy that? He is one of my favorite artists. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's like it's just like when he picks up that horn, certain musicians when they pick up that horn, you can feel that music. You can feel the anointing through that horn. And he is, oh my gosh. That one really did something to me, you all. I hope that you all are enjoying the show. I hope I'm getting some hearts and some likes, and that you all are sharing the broadcast with others so that they can be encouraged as well. I got Dr. Rodney Alford standing by. We're going to be talking about something that's dear to my heart because I've had some situations with it, and it's really deep in my family. It seems like we're going to be talking about high blood pressure in just a minute. So let's go to our trivia question, and then we're going to bring up Dr. Rodney Alford. Okay, so trivia, trivia, trivia. Where are you? Trivia, trivia. Cheryl, where's the trivia? Right there. There it is. Okay, so our trivia question has to do with what Dr. Rodney Alford is going to be talking about. Okay, what is another name for high blood pressure? Do you know? Do you got to wait for Dr. Alford to tell you? I bet you don't know. Put it in the comments. Today, we're going to be picking two winners. Up for grabs is a plaque that says Serenity, Courage, and Wisdom. And in the background, it has the God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's one. And then there's another one, strong. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. Those two are up for grabs. We're going to pick two winners, and this is from my good friend in Tennessee, Andrea Tarpley. Love Stitches. All right. All right. So let's get Dr. Alford up, and let's get ready to talk about our high blood pressure. All right. Hey, Dr. Alford.
Good evening. How are you?
I am fine. How are you doing?
I am fantastic, Kat. You are wonderful. Just the things that you bring to the station, I'm
Thank
always
you.
excited about it. So, thank you for allowing me another opportunity to share with all of your viewers.
Absolutely. And you know what? I saw you on the news like earlier this week. I saw you with the governor of Illinois and some other people. I said, go on, Dr. Alford, go on, Dr. Alford. I wanted you to tell the viewers a little bit, if you don't mind. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but just kind of give them an overview about what you were talking about on the news. I know it was an update, so Go ahead
Yeah,
and give them before we start.
I can give you a couple of updates.
Okay.
One update is actually it really was more about the coronavirus situation that we have right now, our pandemic. And the governor asked if I would be able to share with Black and Brown communities in Illinois, and also it ended up being transmitted throughout the world. But just just encouragement to the Black and Brown communities, particularly, and also the Christian community, which are two communities that actually have had some vaccine shyness, I should say. They've just been afraid and a little tentative about getting the vaccine for one reason or another. And so I tried to encourage everyone to do just that. I was just on with the high school. I don't know if anybody's heard of Simeon High School
In
um,
Chicago,
in
yes.
Chicago. I talked to those students today by Zoom, the juniors and seniors there. They're going to be doing a vaccine clinic there on Saturday, or next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, but next Saturday, and talk to those students about the same thing, just making sure that you're not so shy about getting the vaccine that you end up getting the disease, waiting to see if this vaccine is going to cause people to grow tails or horns or 3 6s on their heads. Um,
Dr. Alford,
yes.
the program at Simeon, is that just going to be for the students, or because I have quite a few people from Chicago that are viewing. Is it just for the students, or is it for anybody in the community where they can go and get the shot?
It's a
Or
community. It is a community vaccination clinic. Yes,
okay, okay.
and they because they've lowered the age now to where you can get it over 12. Um, Now they'll be able to. The young people will also be able to get the vaccine. So I wanted to make sure I talked to them because they're a little uncomfortable about it because they're hearing things on the internet. They're seeing things on TV that's
Mm-hmm.
confusing and
Yes.
misleading. And so I encourage them all to trust the doctors, particularly trust one that looks like them, that came from where they came from, uh,
Mm-hmm.
trying to do some of the things that, to make our country a better one, but actually to even make our world a better one. Um, the vaccine is going to do just that. So then the vaccines, I should say plural, because there are so many of them out there. We
Mm-hmm.
only use the three, and we probably won't use any others because those three are very, very effective, and
Okay.
they're very little side effects. Although there are some mild, issues that you will have to deal with in some cases. So the other big news, I think some of the biggest news since the coronavirus hit, is that the
Okay.
CDC, the Center for Disease Control, has now lifted its recommendation for wearing masks for those people that are vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated already and you're fully vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask when you're in public settings. You don't have to wear a mask when you're outside, obviously. And you don't even have to socially distance because you've been vaccinated. And all the studies are showing now that when you're vaccinated, when you have the vaccine in your system, and 2 weeks after you receive the vaccine, you are immune. And so it's very unlikely for you to get the disease. And even if you get the virus in your system, which may happen in a very low percentage, the,
Mm-hmm.
the virus won't affect you. It won't cause you to get sick. And it definitely won't cause you to die. And what's real important is that you won't transmit it to other people. Those are huge, huge things. And we need to understand that and make sure that we encourage people now that they've released all of these measures to keep you socially distant. Now we can take off our masks. If we've been immunized, we can take off our masks and we don't have to socially distance. We can hug each other. We can do all the things that we used to do before the pandemic hit, except in certain areas. And those areas are, of course, going to be those areas that certain businesses will want to keep that mask mandate up. So you want to make sure that for those areas where it says wear a mask, please abide by those rules, even even if you've been vaccinated. And also trains, buses, and planes, they're still going to hold on the mask mandates probably for a little while longer until there are more people immunized, because we have about a third of the population of the United States adults have been immunized. So it makes sense now that they can relax some of those guidelines, and the CDC has done just that. As of yesterday, they have allowed us to be able to walk around mask-free in settings that allows us to walk around mask-free. So that's a wonderful thing. Again, that's the most exciting news I've heard since the pandemic hit. So please comply with those folks that do decide to continue their mask mandates. But for the most part, you're going to see people getting pretty excited about that issue, especially if they've been vaccinated. So even more of an initiative to get vaccinated, just so that you can have the freedom to walk around and not have the fear of getting this disease or in denial that this disease exists. So you have those three populations: those that are in denial, those that are in fear, and those that are free. I believe in being in the free group. so,
I hear you, Dr. Alford.
so
And I've been wanting to go see my grandmother. She's in her 80s, but I've just been concerned because I work around a lot of children, and I know she's had her shots, but I just wanted to be careful. So it's good to hear this kind of what's going on with the updates and stuff of what's going on with the COVID vaccine, and how it's affecting the community. And now that people are becoming immune to it, that hopefully we can get back to some type of normalcy. Am I saying it right?
normalcy.
Thank you.
And we will get back to normalcy as long as a large amount of the population decides to do what makes sense, and that is to get vaccinated. Um, I wouldn't tell people this if I didn't do it myself. I surely wouldn't vaccinate my family if I thought it was not, something that was safe. So it is definitely safe. It's effective, and it's going to help us get out of this pandemic. But right now, if you've been vaccinated and anybody around you've been vaccinated, hang out with them, enjoy, hug, kiss, just, get back to normalcy, because it's that time to do it. As long as you've been vaccinated, you are free.
Dr. Alfred, I know we're supposed to be talking about high blood pressure, but I have a couple of questions about the COVID vaccine. And since this is something that's like our reality right now,
Yeah.
can we stick with this a little bit longer if people
Absolutely.
have concerns, they have questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's the first one. Are the young people taking 2 doses or 1 dose?
They're getting, for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, they're getting exactly the same thing the adults are getting. There's no difference at all. If you take the Moderna vaccine, you have to get the second shot 4 weeks after. If you take the Pfizer vaccine, you get the second dose 3 after. And for the Johnson and Johnson or Janssen vaccine, it's a one-shot deal, and you don't have to. And again, after you finish the vaccination, 2 weeks after is when you have the highest level of immunity.
Do the children, do they get a lesser dose because of their size as opposed to an adult dose as far as the strength? Is it the same?
It's the exact same dosage for that age group. Now, when we get to the smaller children, and we haven't started vaccinating them, only because we don't have enough studies, we don't have enough cases, and people, be very honestly, aren't allowing their children to be tested, to be the test bunnies, to see what's going to happen with these younger people. But it is happening. There are a lot of doctors I know that are subjecting their children to the vaccine, these vaccine trials, and so we'll know surely by close to the end of the year
Okay.
what we'll be doing with small children.
Okay. Here's another question, Dr. Alford. If we are fully vaccinated and we get the virus, are we still contagious, or can we pass it to someone else?
That's an excellent question, and I did answer it earlier, and I'll answer it again because it really, it's hard to stick to you when you hear it. But if you've been vaccinated, then you actually will not transmit that virus. If you happen to get the virus yourself, say if you're in contact with someone that does have COVID, and they're unvaccinated, you're vaccinated, fully vaccinated, so you've been in contact with this person, they've even coughed in your face, so now you've got that virus in your system. Well, because you're immunized, what your body does is it reacts to that virus. It kicks pretty much kicks the virus around quite a bit, so it doesn't allow the virus to be able to replicate or reproduce. So it can't reproduce in your body, so it can't get to a level what we call the viral load. You can't
Mhm.
get to a level of virus that actually is going to be infectious to other people. So no, you're not infectious. Even if you get exposed, even if you have mild symptoms from it, you will not transmit the disease. And that's the study that they were able to show, and they released yesterday to show that that's why we can go, if we've been vaccinated, we can go around and be around other people. Now we know that there are going to be some unvaccinated people that are going to be running around with no mask. They're not supposed to, and they shouldn't be in contact with other people, because there may be some other people that are unmasked, that are unvaccinated, that they can transmit this disease to. So those folks may get sick, but those of us that have received the vaccine will be fine. And so another incentive again to get the vaccine, because you're going to have folks around that are not going to be vaccinated, and they're going to be, they're going to be acting as if they were vaccinated, and doing everything that vaccinated people are allowed to do.
Okay, Dr. Alford, here's another question. Will we need to continue COVID testing?
Well, yes. For those folks that have not received the vaccine, you best believe they need to be COVID tested, because we don't know if they have it or not, and we're worried about those other people that have not been vaccinated. So for you that have that been vaccinated, there are no indications now to ever test you again, because you have immunity. Now, if they were to detect virus, say in your nose, and they did
Mhm.
the nasal test on you, and you've been vaccinated, and it comes back positive, it doesn't mean anything, because you're not gonna be infectious, and you're not gonna be sick from it. So there would be no reason to do that kind of test on you. Now, down the line, if we start finding that immunity is starting to wane after a couple years or so, because we know right now that those initial people that were vaccinated back in March and April,
Mhm.
those folks still have antibodies. They're still doing well, and they're not getting the disease.
Okay.
So those initial people from a year ago haven't developed any more disease at all. So we know that at the very least, we're going to be good for a year.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think that's all the questions. We may have about 5 minutes to talk a little bit about high blood pressures. I know that's not enough time for you, but maybe we could talk about like just the main points, maybe a couple of the main
Well,
points.
I'll hit a few main points. This is National High Blood Pressure or Hypertension Awareness Month. Um, and also World Hypertension Day is May 17th. And really what we want to let people know is we want folks to measure their blood pressure accurately. We want them to make sure that they're controlling their blood pressure. And we want folks to live longer. That's our theme for this year. So you want to know your numbers. We need to know that a normal blood pressure is 130, is anything under 130 over 80. The systolic number has to be 130 or less. The lower number or diastolic number needs to be 80 or less. If it's higher than that, then it is considered high blood pressure. If either of those numbers are high, that's considered high blood pressure. Now, this is a change from what it was years ago. We used to say 140 over 90. That's actually secondary hypertension. That means that your blood pressure is out of control, and you probably need some type of treatment. So we do want to keep that number now. 130 over 80 is what we want to shoot for. Because high blood pressure is asymptomatic in about 40% in most people. 40% of adults don't even know they have it. they have it and don't even know they have it because it doesn't give you symptoms. We've heard of the silent killer. That's
Mm-hmm.
what high blood pressure is. It is that silent killer. So we want to make sure that we understand that the incidence of high blood pressure, it's high. We got 37 million adults in the United States have high blood pressure, and 30 million uh, are recommended to take medications. So we say about 2 out of 3 people have uncontrolled high blood pressure. Blood pressure is up in the 140/90 category. So there's a lot of people that have it. And of course, it's much more prevalent in the African American community. About 25% of blacks, by the time they're an adult, have high blood pressure, and it's not controlled. Whereas 32% of whites have high blood pressure that's under control. So the incidence, of course, increases with age. As you get older, we get we're more likely to have it. Over age 60, about 75% of the population has some form of high blood pressure. So it's very, very common. Well, some of the reasons that you want to treat high blood pressure is because you want to prevent strokes, you want to prevent heart attacks, you want to prevent kidney disease, heart failure, and also blindness. All of those things can be caused by an uncontrolled high blood pressure. Um, the longer that blood pressure is high, the more damage it's going to cause. So we want to make sure we bring it under control very quickly. Um, there's primary and secondary types of high blood pressure. Primary is what you're born with. You're born with that tendency, what we call essential hypertension. And then there's the secondary causes, other things that can cause your blood pressure to be high, like thyroid disease or other types of hormonal diseases, or even sleep apnea and kidney disease. And some types of heart disease can also cause the blood pressure to be high. I'm going to race right over to lifestyle modifications, because that's what we want to do to treat high blood pressure. We don't want to assume that our blood pressure is going to be under control, and we don't really want to get into a lot of medications, although many times we have to treat with high blood pressure medications. But the first thing we always want to think of is the lifestyle modifications. We want to change the way we eat. I've talked before about a DASH diet, DASH. Please Google it. I don't have enough time to talk about it. But basically, vegetables, legumes like peas and beans, lean meats, fiber, the omega-3 fatty acids, and those are the kind of things that you want to stick with in order to stay on a heart healthy diet. Of course, you want to stop smoking because nicotine increases your blood pressure. Um, we want to do some heart healthy exercises. Aerobic exercises of all types are considered heart healthy. That's walking, running, um, swimming, biking. All of those things, will help to reduce your blood pressure. Those are all aerobic type exercises. We really want to concentrate on losing weight around the waist. When we have a large waistline has been associated with elevated blood pressure. So the more you lose the waist, the better your blood pressure will actually be, and the less effect it will have on your body. We want to encourage, if you're going to exercise any of those aerobic type exercises, you want to put in about 20 to 30 minutes every day in order to really improve that your blood pressure. Then there's different types of mindfulness exercises, yoga, tai chi. These kinds of things actually help. There's things that we call like biofeedback, where you can actually control your own blood pressure yourself. There's a
Mm.
lot of herbal therapies out there. Most of us have heard of garlic, and we know that garlic can help to lower blood pressure. Um, Ginger actually also has an effect. You can have a cup of ginger tea, and that can kind of help to keep your blood pressure down. Lavender, we use that many times as an essential oil. That can help to lower blood pressure as well. Then there's different vitamins and supplements. You definitely want to ask your doctor or your primary care provider, whoever that person is, what types of vitamins and or supplements you take. Don't just initiate it on your own, because a lot of times people are out there selling all kinds of stuff, and that stuff may not do exactly what you need, or it may interact with some other things that may be going on in your body. So definitely ask before you start using all types of supplements. But we know that vitamin D, vitamin E, magnesium, iron, the omega-3 fatty acids. All of these can reduce the blood pressure by improving your circulation. So make sure that those are important. I'm going to harp on it as I always do. Alcohol, limit the alcohol intake. 1 serving a day. And then reduce your caffeine. I'm not saying reduce your coffee. You can use decaffeinated coffee, but reduce the amount of caffeine that you take in your diet, because it can also increase your blood pressure. There's a number of types of blood pressure medicines out there. I'm not going to go into the individual ones, but there's diuretics, there's beta blockers, there's vasodilators, there's all these different categories of blood pressure medicines. And really, you can let your doctor decide which one works best for you. So what I did was I prepared a few myths about high blood pressure, and if I have 3 minutes, I'll be able to get through those myths.
That's fine. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So one myth is people they say, I know when my blood pressure is high. Well, no, you don't. You can't possibly. That's why they call it the silent killer. Now, if it's high enough for you to feel it, it's really high, and you better get somewhere quickly. So if you think it's high, take your blood pressure. You should have a blood pressure cuff. Everybody should have one, especially if you have a history of high blood pressure or a family history of high blood pressure. You should have your own blood pressure cuff at home. So if you think it's high, check it. You might be surprised. So no, it is a silent killer, and it does not necessarily warn you. You might say, well, I get dizzy. Sometimes I get headaches. I know that means my blood pressure is high. Answer is no. It's a silent killer. It doesn't give you those warnings necessarily. You might be dizzy. You might have high blood pressure, but the blood pressure may not necessarily be causing your dizziness. There may be other things that may be causing it. Headaches can cause your blood pressure to go up. Stress can cause your blood pressure to go up. It doesn't mean that, that the blood pressure caused the other thing. So keep that in mind. Some people say, well, I use kosher salt or sea salt. If it says salt, it's salt. It's sodium salt. It all causes blood pressure to raise. I don't care if it says onion salt, celery salt, garlic salt. All of those are salt, and they contain sodium in them, and they can all raise your blood pressure. Not to say you can't have those things. It's just you need to use them in very small quantities, small amounts. Use other types of seasonings to season your food up. If it says no salt, that's true. There's very little sodium in that, and mostly a potassium salt, but the taste is awful. I don't like it. So some folks say I can eat anything I want as long as I stay away from salt. That's not true, because there's other types of foods that can raise your blood pressure as well. Fatty foods, greasy foods, fried foods, all of those things can raise the blood pressure as well. Some folks say that if I was born into a family with high blood pressure, then I'm just going to have to be on medication. Not true either. Those lifestyle changes can cause a difference in your blood pressure, may reduce your blood pressure, and you may not have to go on medication. Another one is, if I take blood pressure medicine, then I don't have to lose weight. I don't have to eat right, and I don't have to lower my salt intake, and I don't have to exercise. Well, we all know, as much as we would like to believe that, that's also a no, false. The blood pressure medication is usually added because those other lifestyle things aren't really working. So again, I'll summarize. Get checked. Get your blood pressure checked. Check it at home. Check out that DASH diet. Look and see what that is. Get some exercise on a regular basis. If you're on medications, take them. And if you don't want to take them, talk to your doctor, your primary care professional about it. Make sure you do follow up regularly with your doctor, and attempt to reduce these medications by doing the lifestyle management efforts. So with that, did I finish in time?
You did that in record time, Dr. Alford. I didn't think you could do it because I know you have so much knowledge. You have so many good things to tell us, but you did it.
Good.
You did it. That was good. The myths was really, really good, because I've said that before. Like, I could tell when my blood pressure is high, like if my head started hurting or something. That was good. And there was something else that you said that I was like, what? Salt. So I was always, I was told like the white table salt is not the good salt, but if you can do so it's the sodium. It's the sodium, y'all, in there that is the problem. So I do have a question. So I do have a blood pressure machine, but now they have some that you could put on the wrist, and then you have some that could put on what the doctors use. What is the best one? I have the one where I put on my arm. I use because the wrist one didn't seem very accurate, and so
You hit the nail on the head. Those are not as accurate. You get what you pay for. Those wrist cuffs, you can get those for $15, sometimes as much as $11, and they're about worth what they cost.
okay.
And so you want to get one that's on your arm, on your upper arm. Those work a whole lot better. You get much more accurate. Push the button, you get the blood pressure and your pulse. I encourage everyone to write it down. Write down the time that you're checking it, and write down the day that you're checking it. Keep a chart. Bring it into your primary care provider. They will be ecstatic. I know when my patients bring that in, and I have them all do it. I just give them all kinds of high fives, and I get real excited about that, because if they can can monitor it, then they'll know what kind of things will tend to make it go up, and it'll force them to remember to take their medications.
Okay. All right. Well, I surely hope that the viewers, what do you all think about this information? Is this really good information? I see some people put in good information, great information. Thank you so much, Dr. Alford. You all give Dr. Alford some hearts and some likes. Want to send a shout out to his wife, Jackie. Hey, I see her back there. And hey, Jackie, how are you? Good to see you. And wait, look at the Mother DeBose put on there, Dr. Alford. People are destroyed for their lack of knowledge and not knowing. See, you telling us some good stuff. Now it's up to us to go and do what we need to do, because you didn't told us. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Blessings to you, Dr. Alford, on your future endeavors. And of course, we are always excited when you come to hang out with us. I'm not sure when you come back again, but thank you so much for telling us about how to prevent high blood pressure, the symptoms, some of the symptoms about high blood pressure, and then how we can kind of control that thing. So, and the myths. Thank you so much for that, because I've heard almost all of those. I was like, wow. Yes. So have a great weekend, Dr. Alford. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Kat. Appreciate what you're doing.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So did you all take notes? Did you all take notes about high blood pressure? And okay, so he answered the question to the trivia question. I don't know if you all were listening. The trivia question was, what is another name for high blood pressure? And the answer was hypertension. Yes, and Dr. Alford did give us that answer as well. So if you didn't know. And so Cheryl, okay. So our first winner is Mrs. Gerald. Oh, MG, Mrs. Gerald. Let me see. Where is it? Here it is. Mrs. Gerald, this plaque is coming to you, the Serenity, Courage, and Wisdom plaque. And then the second plaque, the Strong, She is Clothed in Strength and Dignity, is going to the Queen of the Stamps, my sister friend, Charlene Blair. So congratulations to both of the winners tonight. So Mrs. Erlstein Gerald and Charlene Stamp Keeper Blair, congratulations. Those are some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plaques. Again, that's from care of Andrea Tarpley with Love Stitches. That's her website right there. If anybody else is interested in getting some of her products, that's my good friend in Tennessee. All right. Cheryl, can I have a little music on the back of my voice? Because I know I'm kind of raspy. Is that a word?
Raspy.
Okay, so want to thank Kevin Moore. We want to thank Kevin Moore. OMG. Thank you so much, Kevin, for coming and hanging out with us. He is stellar nominated, and we're going to wish him well, and we're hoping that he's going to win that nomination. And we also want to thank Dr. Rodney Alford for updating us actually on the COVID-19 vaccine and how the shots are immunizing people, and giving us an update on that, and also telling us about high blood pressure. So you all got some really, really good information tonight. Next week, I got national recording artist Earl Carter is coming. OMG, I wonder if he's related to us. Earl Carter is coming to Friday Night Live, And also an old friend of mine from my church that I pretty much grew up in Chicago. Her name is Helen Rice, and she bakes cakes and all kinds of gourmet desserts. She's going to be here, and her name of her business is Out of My Kitchen. So she's going to be here as well. It's going to be a great show. All right, y'all. So do you want to give a few shout outs?
Yeah.
Okay, Cheryl, let me get your thing ready. Let's see. A Cheryl shout out. Does it matter which one I pick?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, let's see. Sure.
Hello, everyone. Again, I am so sorry I was late today. I apparently didn't know it was Friday. I don't know how that happens. I just didn't know it was Friday. But I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I got to see all you lovely people. And I wanted to say hi to everyone since I didn't get a chance to earlier. So we have on the land, we have Gigi. Hey, Gigi. How are you this evening? We got Bonnie Wilson on the YouTube. Hey, Bonnie. Glad you came back. We got Peggy Neal on Facebook as well. Hey, Peggy. Glad to see you came back as well. We got Mother DeBose as well, one of our loyal followers. Hello. Or audience members. There we go. Then we got Charlene.
Stamp keeper.
Dozier?
Oh, Dozer.
Dozer?
I think it's Dozer. Yes. Hey,
Yeah.
Charlene.
This is a new person? Hi, Charlene, and welcome. Hi. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes.
Then we have Deborah Pitts. Hey, Miss Deborah. You got Mrs. Gerald. Congratulations on that plaque. I'm sure you're going to love it. We have Carmen Cunningham as well. Hey, Carmen. We have Charlene, the stamp keeper, Blair. Hey, girl. Congratulations as well. We have Tina Wilson. Hi, Tina Wilson. How are you? We have Karan Edmonds. Hey, Karan, girl. We also have Doreen Chandler. Hey, Doreen.
Doreen Chandler. Wow. Now that's a blast from the past. That's one of my good friends from Houston, Texas. She was so sweet. Oh, I miss her. Wow. Hey, Doreen. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Oh, that just made my evening. Wow. I haven't seen her in probably 2 decades.
Wow. Well, welcome.
Yes.
Check us out.
I know. Wow. That's a blessing.
All right. Let's see who else we have here. We have Lisa Boykin. Hey, Miss Lisa. You got Kimberly Rogers. How are you?
Actually, you see this band right here? Lisa made this band right here that I have on my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all got to go and check out Rachel and Elijah Creations. Let me see if I have her thing up. Yep. There's her website. She does masks. I don't have any in here right now because I have a cat that wants to steal the masks. But she does masks. She does matching headbands. And there's her website right there. You can order right there on that website. So check her out.
We also have Auntie T with Team Cradle. Hello. Hey, Auntie T. We got Charles Neal. How are you?
Hey, Pastor
Welcome
Neal.
back.
I think First Lady Peggy Neal was on too. That's
Yes, she
True
was.
Christian Fellowship. Hey.
Yes, she was. She sure was.
That's one of my favorite churches in Chicago. When I come home, I usually try to stop by and visit them.
We got Virginia Mobley. Hey, Miss Virginia. We got Walter Williams. How are you as well?
Brother Walter, I saw you put on there one drink only.
There's only one drink. And I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. It looks like.
All right. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm so happy that you all have decided to come and hang out with us. You know, people don't have to be nice, and there are other things that you could be doing on a Friday night. So I don't take it for granted that I have some faithful followers and some new followers that find this show encouraging and uplifting, that they come every Friday. And I just want to say thank you so much. We love you guys. Congratulations again to our winners tonight, which are Mrs. Earlstein Gerald and Charlene, the stamp keeper. Congratulations to our winners. You can check out our website to find out what's coming up, what artists we have coming up. Would you believe I am booked all the way up to September? When I started off, I could only get like a few artists at a time, maybe like out for like maybe 3 months. Now they're calling me. I called them too, but they're calling me. So I'm booked all the way up to September. So that's a blessing as well. So big love hugs to everyone out there. You all have a safe weekend. Actually, also, my mother put in the comments that the 17th is tax day. That's when your taxes are due. So make sure you get those taxes done. If you haven't gotten them done, make sure you get them done this weekend and get them in the mail or get them taken care of online. Is there anything else? That's it.
Sponsors.
All right. Well, we can end with our sponsors. Okay. Let me see. All right. I'm going to end with the sponsors. You all have a great weekend, and I'll see you, Lord willing, next Friday. Love you. Well, that's not the sponsor, Cheryl. Let's see. Maybe this one is it. Introducing national recording artist, saxophonist Ronald Rembert Jr. Music for inspirational music to move you, soothe you, and groove to. Available at Amazon Music, iTunes, and other online platforms. Ronald also has a new designer shoe, the Double Quarter Anointed 1S. This shoe is custom designed and handcrafted in Italy. Once you buy a pair, the custom shoes are manufactured and shipped to you. Style meets comfort with a dose of swag, a street-style glow sneaker with sporty soul. Check out the Double Quarter Anointed 1S shoe and Ronald Rembert Jr. Music at anointedsax.com. Stepdads showing up and showing out. Check out this latest book written by inspiring author Dr. Cedric Rice. His book is loaded with tips for navigating the complex world of a blended family. Dr. Rice's goal is to encourage, equip, strengthen, and empower the men and the women who love and adore them to fully embrace the challenges, responsibilities, honor, and blessings associated with being a stepfather. The ultimate challenge as a stepfather is to always show up and show out. God is watching. This book can be purchased as a softcover or Kindle at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iUniverse.com. Stepdads, showing up and showing out. Encourage a stepfather today. Are you shopping for car insurance, business insurance, homeowners insurance, renter's insurance, life insurance? Well, let me introduce you to insurance agent Bryce Armstrong with State Farm. Reach out to him for all of your insurance needs. Give him a call or even request a quote at 618-205-1000. That's 618-205-1000 or Bryce at bstrong.biz. Bryce Armstrong with State Farm, our first choice with competitive prices and friendly service. Give him a call today.